play. Go, Connor.
Oh, that's a yellow.
It's hot out.
Good job.
I pushed myself so hard that game that I literally, after the game, I laid down and I couldn't move because I was so tired and I was so drained. It showed me how far I was willing to push and how hard I was willing to fight for things. And it turned out to be the greatest game in high school that I ever played. It was scary. You're going against unknown people that you know can play soccer. There's no if, ands, or buts. It is like they know how to play soccer, so you got to be on top of your game. You have to be the best. You have to be motivated. You have to, in some cases, be cocky and say that you are the best. And that was the most exhilarating moment of my soccer career. I was playing in the Starfire Stadium. That's where the Seattle Sounders play. And being able to look around and just seeing the stands, and I just could imagine them being filled with crowds of people cheering, and it gave me such an adrenaline rush on top of the fact that this is my first college game. Well, I started playing soccer when I was little, and my dad played on one of the 80s Olympic soccer teams. He really wanted me to play soccer when I was little. I quit soccer when I was around like 11 or 12, and I didn't start playing again until I was a freshman in high school. I went and played for a community college in Oregon, southwestern Oregon, and they offered me a full ride scholarship for my tuition, and it was the most tempting offer by far. And with my poor grades in high school, because I didn't work hard in that aspect, it really helped me get through school in Oregon. I picked up soccer again and loved it, and I played it every day for hours, and I would just play with the soccer ball in my room. I just loved the sport so much. I played year-round, and then come my junior year, all that hard work and perseverance was paying off, and then my senior year was just a great year. Colleges were able to see me, and it was just a phenomenal time. And Oregon State, the coaches wanted me to come play with them on the weekends, and they offered me a spot on their JV team. It was phenomenal. The skill of all the players made everybody else good. Just the adrenaline rush, the constant go. There's no stop and go of the sport. It's always intense. It's emotional. It was fast paced. It was tough. People were aggressive, so you had to play physical. You had to play tough. Otherwise, you were going to get beat every single time. It's a sport that makes you and it just made me as a person and a player become that much better. Person have to give everything you got. Money was a big one. It was really expensive to play college soccer, and I didn't have the funds. So coming to BYU-I was the only real option I had, which is not a bad option, and I actually enjoy it. Sports here are very different. It's very, very, very different. It's really hard to transition from a Division I school and competitiveness and physicalness to not having to do that, to play and have fun. It's a really hard transition for me, but it's just great to be able to play in a competitive nature, even though it's not the competitive nature that I was in. I've played softball, futsal, indoor soccer, and field soccer. And I'm also the golf coordinator for competitive sports. Everyone gets to play. You go out for a tryout, and then if you don't make it, you don't make it, and it's done. You can come out here and they have set up games and set up like halves. You put on your jersey, you represent a team, whereas playing somewhere else, you're just playing pickup. The school gives you an opportunity, even though you're not playing at a high level, to continue to play on a team and continue to play at a competitive level. Disadvantages, I've definitely noticed, if you come from a high level of play, you kind of relax. And I would be training every day. I would spend 5 hours a day training either in the gym or on the field, and I was in amazing shape. And now I'm definitely not in shape, and I've not become worse player, but I've definitely seen huge differences in my playing styles.
Crazy, intense, headstrong, very fancy, yet awesome. He's a very good. We grew up together, played soccer throughout high school, went to primary, caused chaos. Good teammates. He's a good friend, loyal, trustworthy. He's a attention hog and can be cocky at times. Very strange. Why does he only do his hair during soccer games? I'm actually glad because he had a rough spot and I honestly don't know. Now he's doing better and being here, I think has helped him out a lot.
Playing in Oregon as the only Mormon on my soccer team is it was very difficult in some spiritual aspects. I never was able to like go to church with somebody, or I mean it was very singular and it was really difficult. But coming here, I have spiritually grown immensely. Now I feel the Spirit every day, where sometimes it wasn't the case because I was so focused on sports, and that world isn't necessarily spiritually condoning.
So,
Is the thing on, or?
yeah, it's on. You're good. It's working.
Well, okay.
What do you think? How do you think transferring to BYU has affected you personally?
Personally, I'm just going to use an example. Playing in Oregon as the only Mormon on my soccer team is it was very difficult in some spiritual aspects. I never was able to like go to church with somebody, or I mean it was very singular and it was really difficult. But coming here has made I have spiritually grown immensely. And now I feel the Spirit every day, where sometimes it wasn't the case because I was so focused on sports, and that world isn't necessarily spiritually condoning, I could say.
So, was it just finances that made you change from Oregon State?
At first, yes. But then one of my friends, Trevor Priest, came home from his mission, and I asked him what he wanted to do, what school he wanted to apply for. And he's like, well, let's go try BYU-I, and everything from the application to BYU-I, I mean, everything just went smoothly for the school, and I guess divine intervention sometimes helps. I think it would be better for people that want to play more competitively, if they followed FIFA guidelines, just FIFA guidelines, and instead of trying to have sacrament meeting on the field. The reasons are obvious. This is a church school, so of course they're going to want church values in sports. But what I think what they misunderstand things is if they follow FIFA rules, the rules are made so the player has good morals. Go play college soccer again. It's an experience that I'll never give up, and it's something I would never change in my life. Like, you know what, I'm not done, so why am I crying? I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to keep up my experience in soccer because I love the sport so much. You will learn more about yourself through it. He was a huge driving force in soccer. He was very influential and sometimes pushy. Now, as I am sitting here, I wish I was. I wish I would have listened to him, because I would be even a better player than I am now. When I decided to play soccer in high school, he was so proud.